Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
From the land of lemons, magic, and neighbors who still wave, it's Voices of the Valley. Join hosts Jim and John as they shine a spotlight on local businesses, city council news, community events, and all the colorful characters that make the Santa Clara River Valley feel like home. From Santa Paula to Fillmore and Peru, this is your hometown podcast, Voices of the Valley.
Did it say Peru or Pyro? I just noticed that.
No.
Yeah? Well,
Check on that. I was focused on our pictures. We need to update our pictures.
Why?
That's been what,
I know
3 or 4 years ago.
But look at what they would get updated to.
We're better looking now than we were 3 years ago.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Thank you.
Maybe not as thin, but we're just, I was looking at the picture like, yeah, I don't know if that's, people see the picture and they look at us in real life. Like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, camera changes things.
That's true. That's true.
So, a couple of things we were talking about. One was obviously the AI, but before we get into that, I wanted to ask you a question about what the heck is going on with time.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
I know, it's
3 months into the year already.
So do you remember as a kid, the day before Christmas, you were extra special good because you knew Santa Claus wasn't going to come if you were bad?
Yeah.
And that day was probably like the longest day in history.
Yep. Because you didn't want to go to bed by midnight. You're just kind of
sitting
there twiddling your thumbs like, okay, when's he coming? When's he coming? Just hanging out.
Right. It just seemed like the day took forever because it's like Christmas, oh, Christmas. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be planning the Christmas parade pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean, we are 3 months into the new year.
Yeah, next Tuesday is the end of our first quarter of the year. It's like, where did it all go?
Yeah.
We were still talking about Christmas,
We were.
Yeah, not too long ago.
And not too long ago, we were talking about, man, we're going to be planning for Christmas pretty soon. And now it came and went. And we're back up to that time of it's crazy.
Yeah, and, we're planning second quarter stuff. It's taking us through mid-year now. It's just like, in 3 months, we're planning for the holidays.
Yeah.
The fall season and holidays.
So why is it that time appears to go faster as you get older?
I think as adults in general, it goes faster. And more, I think more the fact
I think the older you get, the faster it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we're older now, and you probably, that you have your own business, things probably happen fast and just constant, But in general, I mean, I know, I'm like, where did the 3 months go for the year?
Right.
You just get so caught up in things.
Let's ask Al.
There you go. Ask Al.
Hey, Al. So we are 3 months into the new year. It seemed like we were just planning for Christmas. Now we're getting into the, planning for the summer. Why is it that time goes faster when you get older? When you're young, it takes forever. When you get older, and the older you get, the faster it goes. Why?
It's such a relatable feeling, right?
Come again? Al? Oh my gosh.
Time flew past him.
I know. It's a relatable feeling. Al, we didn't hear that statement, so say it again.
Of course. So when we're young, each year is a large portion of our life. But as we age, each year is a smaller fraction of what we've already lived. So it feels like it's flying by.
Okay.
That wasn't much of a...
Al has been kind of annoying me lately because I've been asking him questions. He interrupts me all the time. Sometimes he answers things and it's like, that is not the question I asked.
It's how you're asking the question.
No, I think we're having a little spat. A little
lover squirrel?
Yeah, a little lover squirrel.
Yeah,
so
take care of him. Gotta be nicer to him.
Al's not the guy that I thought he was.
Well, guys change. And if you're annoying him, I can see why.
Well, he's annoying me.
Could be both ways.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe it's time to just take a break from each other.
It might be.
Time to see some other AI people.
Let's see. Hey, Al, do you think it's time we take a break? Because I'm getting kind of annoyed.
No problem at all, Jim. A little break sounds like a great idea. Whenever you're ready to chat again, I'll be here. Take care for now.
Oh, he just shut you down.
Holy cow.
Now it's on you. He's done with you until you're ready to come back.
I know. That was like a Dear John letter.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Well, there was no love there at all.
None.
Wow. He could have said, you want to work it out, something? No, he's just like, okay.
He's like, fine.
Yeah, whatever. Let me know when you're ready.
I think I got the proverbial middle finger.
Wow. Yeah. It'd be great if they showed you the screen and showed that finger coming at you. There you go.
What's even better is all of a sudden the program gets uninstalled. It's
Oh,
like,
that would be great. Yeah. That would be great. Wow. So he's annoyed by you too. There you
yeah.
go. Wow.
So, all right. So we were talking about AI last. Well, actually, we didn't talk much about it because I got two
Yeah.
customers that came
We're
in and got
continuing
called
the
out.
discussion.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about it, but one of the things that you brought up was Claude.
Mhm.
Now, does Claude have a voice?
I've never checked if it did. I've always just typed stuff in. So
Okay.
maybe it does. I don't know.
Does it have a phone app?
Yes, it does.
It
I
does.
think it does.
Okay.
Pretty sure it does.
And so you obviously have been using that.
Yeah, it does have an app.
How is it that you came about finding Claude?
It was actually recommended by somebody that uses it all the time, a company that uses it. And he thought it might be better because they use ChatGPT, they use Claude, and he said Claude works better for certain things that you need, like letters and other kinds of programming stuff. And
Mhm.
so he turned me on to it. Once I looked at it, I was just like, okay, this actually works really well. And it's different. It's different than ChatGPT because, everybody uses ChatGPT. So all the phrases and all the wording and all the sentences start looking alike. This one's a little different. It doesn't do the typical ChatGPT phrases and all that stuff. So it's a little bit different. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect at all. I mean, you still got to read it and make some changes, but I like it for what I'm working on right now, project I'm working on. So, but I use both. But they're different.
So one of the things that I noticed about ChatGPT is that, like you said, there are some telltale signs.
Mhm.
And so let me ask a question. Should we be embarrassed or shy about the fact that we're using AI?
No, not at all.
Because that's how people are responding.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I can't make it look like I used AI, so I got to try to,
Yeah, but think
get
of
rid
it.
of the telltale signs to
Yeah.
get rid of the. Because one thing that AI does is it uses a lot of graphics.
Yep.
So when you're doing social posts and everything, and you see the calendar and the stars and the phones, and I mean, let's be honest, most people don't do that.
No.
And so that's kind of a good tell that if there's a lot of those injected throughout the post, that it was probably generated by AI.
Well, you're looking at all the flyers that are coming out right now for events, especially local. It's all AI generated because you can tell it's got a certain style how it does it.
Yeah.
Where last year a lot of people didn't do that. So in just a year's time, you're starting to see a huge switch in how you make flyers and create all that stuff. Because I'm looking at several of them that are going out right now. I'm like, God, they all look the same. They're just changed in a different format. Just so different. The details are different.
So here is here's Julie's philosophy about AI. One of the, we are an art center.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily focus on graphical or I should say, painting or any of that kind of stuff. But we do focus on graphical arts, things of that nature. And Julie is like, if you're an art center representing artists, you should not be using AI to generate your art.
True.
Because you're dehumanizing it. You're basically letting a machine take the creative aspect of something that should be a human aspect.
Yes and no, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it just depends.
So I've seen some studios where they actually use AI to create their logo.
Mm-hmm.
But they're an art studio. And so it's like, okay, should you not be creating your own logo using your own creativity or your people's creativity in order to generate it versus using AI?
it's just become such an easy thing to do now, where people won't be as creative. Because I remember back in the day when I was doing stuff for the chamber here in Santa Paula, I'd spend hours looking at how to make a flyer and trying different things, and just using some of the apps out there, some of the programs out there. And I think this is right on when Canva was starting and stuff, and you're just trying to find the things that would work, and you use some examples. But you're thinking about now you just type in what you want, and bam, it'll spit it out.
Right.
And so it is a time saver, but you're losing a little bit of that creativity.
So here's something that, by the way, we did a podcast yesterday for Magic Talk, and it was all about public speaking.
Right.
For example, opening up a session saying, "How's everybody doing today?" is like a big no-no in public speaking. You really should be doing something more that commands the audience and stuff like that. So we went through the whole thing, and one of the biggest things is the kind of sort of basically honestly just I feel so well
specific words.
Yeah. I'm really trying. Now I would have said, so I'm really trying, but I said I'm really trying to avoid using those. And one of the exercises that it talks about how to go about to stop using those kind of words is a silent pause.
You see a lot of that where they're saying take a pause in between certain things.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to put a filler in there. It's okay to have a little gap.
Right. They're saying a silent pause it's okay.
Yeah.
And it can actually create a little bit more drama or mystique. We do it sometimes in magic when you have a magical moment that happens. You don't want to jump right into the next thing. You want people to be able to absorb it a little bit, take it in and go, wait a minute, that just happened.
Last week I did a public comment at the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce. City of Moorpark for the Chamber of Commerce there. And so I wrote my presentation, and then I ran it through ChatGPT or through Claude. I ran it through Claude to just make sure it was all formatted correctly and whatever. And it formatted it, and in between the paragraphs it said, take a pause.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was interesting that it said that. And then I wrote a speech for our state of Moorpark next week, or 2 weeks. I wrote the speech for my board chair, and it instructed her between to take a pause, and then it said so that way they could understand, like finishing it was something about the events we do. It says take a pause and let them absorb. I don't know if absorb was the right word they use, but something that way they can take that in or something. And then it went to another one about what's coming up, and then it said take a pause. And then it said another one where she introduces and thanks the staff. It says take a pause to let the audience applause the staff. It was weird. It just I didn't ask for it. It just put it in there after each paragraph, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense, But I did that when I spoke. It told me to take a pause, and I did. I said what I needed to say, and then I took a quick pause, and then literally like a 3-second pause, and then I went back and started doing the next one. I did pause again. I hit it. I was right at 3 minutes, but it was like I was basically like 3 paragraphs, but it was all structured. And I asked it to put it in 3 minutes, and it corrected a few things, but then it told me to take pauses in between. So that to your point, it's even that in AI, it's telling you to do that too.
Right.
But because I used to ramble, I rambled a lot.
Yeah.
When I gave that, and you try to hurry, you don't need to hurry.
Well, and that's the thing when you're, if you're nervous, you're gonna tend to speed up anyways. Mm-hmm. So we did Julie and I did a coaching job for a junior high, what do you call them? It was a mock trial competition. So this was a junior high level. The students basically took the defense. Mm-hmm. So it was the defense opening statements and cross-examination and things of that, the defense witnesses and all that. And then they would compete doing the prosecution. Okay. And they all had the same case, the same argument. And one of the things that we were talking about is that sometimes our own dialogue is not very good, and yet we're coaching these kids. But we realize that, you can coach somebody just because you don't necessarily always follow and practice what the right things are to do doesn't mean that you don't know what the right things are to do.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we were coaching the kids is during the closing arguments for the prosecution, there was a statement where the kid who was being the prosecutor stood up and said, in order to prove that a crime was committed, you have to prove that there was intent, there was the opportunity, and there was the will. And I think we proved all these three things. And so the kids were going, in order to prove that the crime was committed, there had to be intent, there had to be the will, and there had to be the opportunity. And we proved all three of those things.
Yeah.
And so we were working with them and we said, it should be a little bit more dramatic. It should be more like, in order to prove there was a crime, you have to prove that there was intent, that there was the opportunity, and there was the will, whatever those three things were.
Yeah.
And so we had them do a pause in between each one to really kind of hammer home that, these are the three things that we have to prove. And it makes such a big difference than to go, and there was the opportunity and the will and the.
Your audience will get lost in what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. If you do that pause, especially when it comes to that, and you see that with a lot of lawyers, like on TV, they really.
Oh yeah.
How they deliver their speech, and there's the pauses in there, and there's that aha moment. They're like, oh, yeah,
right.
And you wait and whatever, So yeah, that's good to teach them.
Yeah, there was another section in there where the prosecution was trying to explain that the defendant had made a statement because the judge had it was a cooking competition, and the judge had basically told them that this person was never going to win the competition no matter how good they were. And so the judge supposedly went up to the defendant and said, I don't care how good you do, you're never going to win this competition, and slapped the food away. And then the defendant said, that is the last time you will insult me. And that's the way they said it. And so it's like, no, you're now speaking as the defense, as the defendant. So I'm sure they didn't go, and that's going to be the last time you insult me. I'm sure it was more, and that's going to be the last time you insult me. And so you got to say it like they, express it so that the people can feel the feeling of like the rage, almost. They won first place.
Nice.
Yeah. And they're for the first time, they're going to state competition.
Nice.
And they're going to compete nationally.
Good. That's awesome.
So, yeah. Julie did most of the labor. But
yeah, I kind of figured she would.
Anyhow, so what's interesting with AI, like we were talking about the telltale signs, one of the things that ChatGPT always does is, I hope this email finds you well.
Yeah.
So anytime I use that, that's the first thing that goes out of my email. Totally unnecessary, totally repetitive. I don't really care if the email finds you well, sick, dead, whatever.
Get to the point.
It's irrelevant. The email's not going to find you anything.
Most people just want bottom line. What is it that we need? They don't want to waste time reading this long email and everything. And ChatGPT likes to add a lot of stuff to it.
Yes.
So you're reading, and it's like they use all these big words and different phrases and stuff. Just it's like, get rid of that. Just tell me what we need to do.
So there's a program called GTD, which is called Getting Things Done. The gentleman who developed that is actually out of Ojai. I forget what his name is. I will look this up so I can give him. Yep. David Allen.
Okay.
It came to me just before it even popped up. So David Allen, he is the creator of GTD, Getting Things Done. And one of the things that he talks about is how we waste so much time with unnecessary communications and things of that nature. So for example, you send an email that the person says, here's the information you're looking for. Let me know if there's any other questions that you have. And then you reply, thanks. And then they reply, you're welcome. Well, there are 2 emails that just went out that you had to take the time to send that had absolutely no purpose or meaning to send. You got the information that you were looking for. Great. If there's any questions, you respond back and you say, okay, I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really no purpose of saying thanks. And you're not having a phone conversation. It's an email.
Yeah, well, most people do it just out of common courtesy, not understanding that. Yeah.
Right. But in the chat GTD,
Wow,
oh my
okay.
gosh.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT what to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In GTD, that would be considered a no-no. Essentially what his thing is that you open up your emails on a designated time.
Yeah.
How many of us tend to, keep the email open and then every like 5 minutes we're going back to email? Did anything come in? Did anything come in? And we're constantly going back and forth to it, which disrupts your train of thought. It disrupts your workflow, all sorts of other things. When you do finally designate time for emails, anything that you can do within 60 seconds or less, you do immediately. Get it out of there, get it done, get it taken care of off the table. If it requires any more than that, then you dump it into a bucket. Does it need you to be by the computer? Does it need you to be, by the phone? Do you need to whatever? So you dump it in and then you address that at a given time when you're going, okay, I'm at the computer. Here's all the list of things that I need to do while I'm at the computer. I'm on the phone. Here's all the things I need to do on the phone. So there's this whole concept. And I talked to Al about it. And I said, our producer is, John's mic is muted.
Is it?
Say again.
I can hear myself.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Let me see. We've been having. I can hear you coming through the
hear
thing.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a little light on
Very
the.
low.
Yeah, I don't know. You're talking into it.
It.
Yeah. Well, now my gosh,
Yeah.
blow my ears out.
I just got a smooth voice.
Yeah.
So,
Smooth. The sounds of John.
yeah.
All right, he's coming back to us.
Okay.
So ChatGPT, you can actually talk to it. It says still very low.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go to mic 3?
Oh, the other mic.
Yeah.
All right. Try that one.
All right. We're on mic 3.
Okay.
So let's see.
Does that sound better?
We'll find out.
You also want to hear me better than you.
I guess so. Well,
Yeah, okay.
maybe I'm just overpowering.
You are. No.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually ask ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
about GTD,
Okay.
and it will give you the recommended structure that you should follow, the buckets that you should create in order to put things into it.
Yeah.
And it will help you organize your day.
Nice.
Now, one of the things that they're starting to do with AI is AI can actually read your emails and make responses without you even touching them.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I wouldn't allow that.
I know. But there is a service.
That would work for auto replies, though, right?
Yeah, well, it's things like if somebody says, hey, can you give me the information on where I can find this on your website? And it can reply and tell you where to go. And if it's, what are your hours or something like that, it can respond accordingly.
Yeah, I think you could put a generic response that says, "Hey, for more information, visit such and such website," that kind of thing.
Right.
And that could be well, it's like an auto reply in your email when you're out of office, right? So it could be
Kind of, but they will actually read your email
Mhm.
and send the appropriate response.
Well, it's like they're like the chat bots, right?
Yes.
Where you're just doing chatting and
Where's my order?
well, I don't know. I was with the cable thing. I was doing a chat, and I swear for like the first 5 minutes, I was talking to a robot.
And not know it?
Well, the way they structure it, it's just like you can tell it's not a human, but but they're actually responding to whatever you're asking it.
Yeah.
And then after a little bit, I was just like, I want to talk to a live person. Then it said, didn't give me everything I wanted. So then I was able to chat with a live person. Well, yeah, I mean, you could chat the entire time with a bot.
Yeah.
And not even know it, and still get what you need, but it's weird. It's weird when you do that.
It is.
I like talking to a person on the other end. And whether they help you or not, I don't know. But because usually with the bots, it'll respond to you, it'll talk to you, but then it'll just tell you to go here, go there, whatever. Unless you have to know how to get the right command to talk to a human.
Well, even on the phone now, you can have AI answer the phone.
Yeah.
And respond to what it can, and then direct to your phone what it can't.
Yeah, it'll come on and say, "What can I help you with today?"
Yeah.
And then you tell it, and then it'll say, "Okay, whatever. Hold on, and it'll get you to the right department or whatever." And then you get to the department, and then it goes through the whole thing again. So that's why I say you could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the phone, or talking to a bot, or doing a chat with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's weird, but I mean that's how it is now. It's just society.
Yep.
I mean, we could probably do a whole show with AI.
We should.
If we can program that.
We can have you. We can have Claude be you, and we'll have Al be me.
Yeah, and just put some avatars.
And we'll have them
Yeah.
do the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could just respond to each other. That would be cool.
I think we should do an
program
experiment.
it that way.
I think we should do a segment of the show as an experiment with that.
We need to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they'll talk to each other and come up with questions or discussions, and yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how we make that
I have to
happen.
figure that one out. So, yeah.
So at the very beginning, I had asked you, do you need to apologize or to be embarrassed about using AI? And you said no. I think at this stage of the game, most people are using it in some form or fashion.
Oh, I think everybody's using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's. Well, you might still have some of the old school people that do that, but then they fall behind.
And they're
Yeah.
to a degree that some form or another does, maybe not majorly, maybe not really in depth. But I will tell you that we run a small operation. We are on a very tight budget. Some months we don't even meet what we need to meet, and AI has been the equivalent of 2 full-time employees for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get far more productive, and I get 3 times as much stuff done during the course of a day because of it than I was doing alone. Now, some people may say, well, you should be hiring employees for that, and you're taking away jobs. The reality is that if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be in a position to be able to hire anyone anyways.
Yeah.
And hopefully, with this added functionality and productivity, I will be in a place as to where I can afford to hire somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only way you're going to be able to hire somebody is if with additional sales.
Right.
So I use it every day. AI in some way, shape, or form. My staff uses it, but it's a huge time saver if you know how to use it right.
Right.
You don't do it instead of everything. It's like, okay, let's feed this into this, look at it, let's talk about it, try and figure out. But it would take hours to try and type something up, try and do this, try and do that. So if you use it smartly, it's going to help save you a lot of money.
Yeah, and if you ask AI itself, it is not intended to replace, it's intended to enhance. So it's allowing you the opportunity to be able to do things that you otherwise wouldn't do.
That's how I use it. So
Yeah.
you don't need to. And there's people that use it, and maybe that's the mentality now. Okay, we're bringing in and we're going to lay off a bunch of people. But yet, at some point, you're going to hire them all back, or at least some of them back.
And I actually haven't heard of anyone being fired because of AI.
Not in a lower level, small businesses. It's the big tech corporations, the big ones that are producing all this stuff for the small businesses. And plus the fact, during COVID, everybody overhired. So as the technology got better, guess what? They don't need as many people anymore as it keeps going. So,
all right. Well, we consumed our 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was good.
So we are going to experiment with doing a segment of our show
at some point
with
maybe
AIs.
in the next couple months.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And in a couple of weeks, we're going to have some gals on the air to talk about the Young Professionals Group. And Gabby and a couple other people.
Okay.
And so they asked to come back on. So I invited them. I believe it's the second Wednesday in April.
Okay.
And we'll get some more guests from there.
Yeah, we can do that. So what do we have going on as far as events? What do you have going on?
Well,
you want to talk to Al and see?
Yeah, we might need to. Actually, I think we could probably do that next Wednesday because, there is a Coffee with the Cops tomorrow. And there's the Mixer, and that is at Sellers. Yep, and the McDonald's is where the Coffee with the Cops will be. Yep. It's the ice cream with the cops, actually.
No, this will be coffee because it's in the morning.
It's in the morning. Yeah, okay, we can't get.
We did cones with the cops.
Okay, so we can't do ice cream this time.
I'm sure they might have ice cream early. So you created a masterpiece and you did yours.
I did.
Yeah, it was a spectacle, So, but it was a cool twist on the Coffee with the Cops that we did. So, yeah. So I know there's two big things going on tomorrow. The Coffee with the Cops, like you said, the Mixer, and then you have something coming up right this week for shows.
No, next Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah.
You're still doing Glen Tavern, right?
Still doing the Glen Tavern every Friday and Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Good.
So come see me.
All right.
All right. We will see you all next week. In the meantime, Al,
you guys gotta
stay safe.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.